have generated any leads in the past year, 2 years, 3 years, and if you aren't converting as many as you would like, if you don't have as many customers as you would like, then this week's episode of My TV is exactly for you. Welcome to episode 244 of My TV. My name is Em Mills, as you all know, and I help business owners who are in that messy middle of going from solopreneur through to a thriving team so that they can do more of the stuff they love day to day, which ultimately, let's be realistic, this is what we all think it's going to be like when we first start our business. We're going to spend all of our days doing all the things we love, and the reality is that it's not like that at all. So this week's episode is a parable of Emma Mills so that you don't make the same mistakes I do, and it's dedicated to all the business owners out there who want to make more sales in their business. And what I found really interesting, so I've been doing loads of research recently because I'm putting something together that I hope will help lots of small business owners get to focus on the fun stuff more, as I talk about, which is not just about going and playing golf, it's about sitting at your desk and enjoying the work that you're doing, because all the other stuff's leverage stuff. Anyway, I digress. So in the UK, there are 5.5 million business owners, and what I found really interesting is that just around about 80% of them, so 4.1 million of these business owners don't have any team members whatsoever. And it's it's not surprising in a way, because employing people is scary, or having a team is scary, and also we're just so used to wearing all the hats, we just naturally, that's what we do. And I did the very same thing for a long time, and what I found really interesting when I look back over my own journey is that as I employed team members, I first employed people to deliver the service, which is provide PA support, answer phone calls. I then employed people to help with marketing. I employed an apprentice in that time who helps with a bit of everything. I employed team leaders. It was 12 years into my journey until I started to consider, wow, Emma needs some help with converting more leads into sales. And we can all get into superhero syndrome, and we wear all the hats. We're like, no, I've got it, I can do this, I can do that. And we think it's saving money because we're doing all of these things, which is completely not true. But for most business owners in the UK, in the US, all over the world, it's all on them. And a trend that happens, I've been the trend, and I've noticed with so many of our clients, is that one of the very last roles to be considered, filled, understand who's even doing it, is who is going to convert the leads, who is going to make the sales, who's going to make the appointments. And there was a study done about 3 or 4 years ago by a company called Brevet, who focused solely on helping businesses to sell more. And in a survey that they did, they uncovered that around 92% of all customer interactions happen over the phone. Like the decision to say yes, to make a sale, to move forwards, happen over the phone. Now I know there's going to be some of you watching and you might have an online product and people just literally buy it. Like I've just had a delivery now for some athleisure, some fitness gear I didn't speak to on. I bought that on the internet, and I totally get that. But most of us who might be B2B, we are service providers, we're sending out proposals, quotes, we need people to understand our value. A lot of the decision making happens over the phone. And I've got a quick scientific internal study to show you the differences it makes. So I know that I've told this story before on My TV, but it's a good story, and if you can learn from this today, if just one of you makes a change and does something differently today, it's worth me repeating myself. Leading up to the middle of the 2020, when COVID was in full swing, I had never had anybody make a sale in this business apart from me. So 12 years we've been going, nobody else had made a sale, and definitely most of that was on me. I thought nobody else was going to be able to make a sale because I thought it was so specific and nuanced and only I could do it. As with all these things we all think as business owners, it's bullshit basically. And we got so busy towards the end of 2020. Coupled on top of this, we started to invest money in Facebook ads because attention was everywhere, everybody was sat at home. We started to get more leads than ever, so we were getting natural leads, more leads. And I tell you this story because I love honesty, I love transparency. I want you to learn from my mistakes. I want you to move faster, quicker than I've done so I can help you. And we had more leads coming in than ever, and yet our conversion rate was not improving. We weren't flooding with more customers naturally from the number of leads that we were getting in, and I was doing all of this myself. But what I was doing, as lots of business owners do, they're just ringing the newest lead that comes in that's maybe booked a Calendly appointment, and they're sending an email, it goes into my pot of leads, never to be spoken to again. And I don't know if you've ever had this feeling, if you have a CRM and you know all your leads are sat there, or maybe they're just sat in your inbox and they need collating together, but when you look at these leads and you think, oh, I wonder what happened to Bob Smith. Why did Bob Smith not buy a PA support? And you look in the CRM and I see that Bob Smith, I spoke to him 12 months ago and I've never rang Bob since. And the feeling of doing a poor job hit me really hard at this particular point. It was now early 2021, and so I had to get some help. Because I knew that I was doing a disservice to me, to the growth of my business, to the team that work for me, to our customers. I'm doing a disservice to our customers who want the help. So that year I took our best team member that was naturally converting people into inquiries on the phone, that was solving problems, solving complaints, a really, really good listener, because that's ultimately what sales is. It's somebody that listens, empathizes, prescribes a solution to their problem, and that was Helena. And in 2021, Helena became, after a little bit of jiggery pokery trying to get her out of the role she was in into it, she became our full-time salesperson, and that team has since grown. But I have got data from 2021 and 2022 when she'd done a full year, and the results are drastically different. And so you'll see them on the screen, but in 2021, we had 674 leads and I had a 16% conversion rate, which feels very poor for us. 16% is like really low. And this was just Emma following up. This was just me trying to ring the ones that I could. In 2022, when Helen had done a full year of it, we had 439 leads, which is a good 200, more than 200 less. And we had a 26% conversion rate. So in 2021, we had loads of leads, crappy conversion because of me, and we got 106 new customers. In 2022, we got 112 new customers. I was no longer had to do all the follow-ups, so I had got all of this time back. We spent less money on marketing and we converted more leads. And ultimately, being on the telephone, it turns out, is one of the biggest pet hates of most business owners. It feels like an ask of people. It feels natural and comfortable to a lot of business owners. And so my TV today is about, I've always said that the first hire, the first team member, the first in-sourced person you should get is an assistant, someone that can get shit done. But number two has to be somebody to help you to convert leads, convert sales. Because if you have a pot of them that just go colder and colder, you are doing yourself, your team, your customers a big disservice. And so I know that you'll know by now we have our My Follow-Up service that helps with this. But I just wanted to tell you the story of my own stupid mistakes ultimately, because we probably could be a bigger business by now if at 2020 I hadn't gone, oh well, it's fine, I'll just make the follow-ups, I'll just keep it, I'll just wear the hat. And I'll just wear the hat that happens to so many of us in so many different parts of the business. Actually, although we think, well, don't worry, I've got it actually holds us back from the business that we can have. And so for today's My TV, if it does anything, I'd like to just take 5 minutes just to think about, okay, the selling in my business, how can I reduce the time that I am doing more of the admin or the follow-up calls on that? How can I get some help? What does it mean to my business if I actually think of sales as a priority? Because most of us don't. We think about getting a bookkeeper, we think about getting some assistants, we think about getting a marketing agency on board, and then most of the time sales, which is the number one thing we need to make our businesses flourish, we keep and we hang on to. And today's My TV, I want you to think about, what does that look like if I start to get some support around that? I know by now you'll know we have our My Follow-Up service, which is literally a team of people that are here to make friends and help people and get your calendars and your team's calendars filled with appointments so you can make fantastic sales. But ultimately, you have to get on the phone to increase your conversion rate. If you have emails being sent to them, texts, WhatsApps, My TV is one of my biggest engagement pieces for prospects on our list who can learn more about us and how we can help. But My TV alone does not make us the sales that keep the wheels turning, that keep us growing. It is Helena and her team being on the phone, and I want the same for you. If you'd like any, obviously, info about my follow-up, you know where to reach me. But I hope this week makes you think about, am I giving my sales, my prospective new sales, the first-class service they deserve? And if not, who can help me with that? And I hope this week's episode helps you to get your head out of the dirt into the clouds, because only with people around us helping us can we get our heads into the clouds. And I will see you next week for episode 245. See you then. Bye bye.